Hello, thank you for clicking on this video. This video is going to go over what is Braille. Many of us have either seen or felt Braille in different places. Some of those places can include restroom signs where they have men and women, or you would find it on apartment or hotel room numbers. But one thing that not many of us do know is that each one of these dot formations form a word, number, or punctuation mark. So I'm just going to go over a bit of what to expect when you are learning how to read and write in Braille. So right here on the screen, you see a full Braille cell. So a full Braille cell is made up of 6 dots. We have 2 columns and 3 rows. Starting on the top left column, the first dot would be dot number 1. Underneath dot number 1 would be dot number 2, and underneath dot number 2 would be dot number 3. Reminder, dot number 3 would be the third row on the first column of this shape. Then when we move back to the top of the column and we're going to go over to the right, which is the right side of the full Braille cell, it's going to start with dot number 4. So you would have dot 1 on the left side column and dot 4 on the right side column. Underneath dot number 4, you'll have dot number 5. Underneath dot number 5, we'll have dot number 6. There are a few ways that you could get a resembling shape that is the same as a full Braille cell. One of those things would be a playing die. So if you have ever played a game that involves dice, whether that's Monopoly or some other game, then you would just want to flip the dice over to the 6-sided part. And that little shape that forms the 6 is the same representation of a full Braille cell. Another thing I have used to have a visual representation of a full Braille cell would be a half dozen egg carton. Again, you have 2 columns and 3 rows. You will want to make sure that you memorize the formation of a full Braille cell and the placement of each dot. When you are learning the Braille alphabet, the Braille numbers, Braille punctuation marks, or the contractions, you'll need to know the formation of the Braille cell in order to be able to identify what structure you are reading. So here on the screen, we have Uncontracted Grade 1 Braille. What that means is you are learning the entire Braille alphabet, letters A through Z. That is all that is included in the Grade 1 Braille. Both names you could use. You could say you are learning Uncontracted Braille, or you could say you are learning Grade 1 Braille. Both mean the same thing. You only know the Braille alphabet. There's an image here on the screen, and the image shows you a couple of the letters, and underneath each letter, it gives you the Braille formation. So visually, you could see, for example, the letter C as in cat is represented by dots 1 and 4. So again, recalling the formation of a full Braille cell, dots 1 and 4 are the top 2 dots of the structure. The next thing you're going to want to do is learn the Braille numbers and punctuation marks. The Braille numbers and punctuation marks, again, are formed by a combination of the 6 dots in a full Braille cell. Different dots would be raised. It would just depend what number or punctuation mark it is trying to resemble. Okay, so once you have memorized the Braille alphabet, the next thing you want to do is memorize the Braille numbers and the Braille punctuation marks. These, again, are made up of the 6 dots, different combination of them to represent either a number or a punctuation mark in Braille. That's why it is essential that you memorize the formation of a full Braille cell, because you'll want to ensure you are able to identify the placement of these dots. So here on the screen, on the left side, I have an image of a couple of Braille numbers. We have number 1, number 2, number 3, and so on. Next to it, we have a Braille representation. One of the similar structures you'll notice is that there is one structure that is made up of dots 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is called the numeric indicator. You'll need to use this anytime you are trying to represent a Braille number. Anything that follows after that is just going to be the number. So for instance, number 1 is made up of the numeric indicator and dot 1, which also represents the letter A. And that just lets you know A is the first letter in the alphabet, so it is number 1. Same thing goes for B. You have the numeric indicator and dots 1 and 2, which represents B. And of course, B is the second letter of the alphabet, so numeric indicator B lets you know that's number 2. And so on. And on the right side, we have punctuation marks. Punctuation marks, you'll want to ensure that you memorize the formation and locations of these dots because many of the punctuation marks feel very similar to some of the structures in the Braille alphabet. Some of the letters are above, so they're made up of the dots 1, 2, 4, and 5. And the punctuation marks tend to be made up of dots 2, 3, 5, and 6. So it's the lower half of a full Braille cell. So ensuring you memorize the location and the structure will help you be able to identify if you are reading a letter or a punctuation mark. And the last part of learning Braille is learning the Braille contractions, otherwise known as Grade 2 Braille. Again, they both mean the same thing. You are learning contractions, you are learning Grade 2 Braille. They both mean that you are learning the advanced level of Braille. So what does contractions mean? So in Braille, some of the structures, when put together, represent a group of letters, or they could represent a full word entirely. I'll give you a couple examples. So on the screen, I have a couple of different Braille structures that are representing a couple of contractions. So on the left side, we have one of the contractions, which is the word about, A-B-O-U-T. And on that image, it shows you the Braille representation of it, which is the letter A and B. So when you have the letter A and B and you are reading contractions, that means you are reading the word about, not the letters A and B. Another example would be on the right side of the screen. We have another image with more contractions. This one structure I'll go over, it is dots 1, 5, and 6. Again, I am only referring to the dots that are formed in that full Braille cell. So here, dots 1, 5, and 6 represent the letters W, H. So again, there are many rules, so you need to follow them in order for them to represent these contractions. However, once you get those memorized, it becomes very easy and quick to write words in Braille because many of them are shorthand, which again, basically what contractions are. They're just Braille structures that represent full words or group of letters. It helps save space on the paper and it makes it quicker when you're trying to read or write things. Just a quick summary of everything that we went over in this video. When you are learning Braille, you want to ensure you go in the following order. You want to start with the Uncontracted Grade 1 Braille, also known as the Braille alphabet. Next step you want to do is the Braille numbers and punctuation marks. And finally, you are going to go into the contractions, also known as Grade 2 Braille. If you guys have any questions regarding anything I went over in this video, or you have any comments you want to leave for me, places to check for resources and material, you could definitely leave that in the comments below. But other than that, please like this video and subscribe to get new notifications when I upload other things that relate to Braille. Another thing I would like all my viewers to know is that I am currently working on finalizing everything for my Braille Dash company. So soon I'll be able to provide private one-on-one training. So if you are interested in learning the Braille code, whether you are learning from the very beginning with Uncontracted Grade 1, or if you just want a refresher before you move on to the contractions, or if you simply want to go straight into contractions because you've already memorized the Braille alphabet, numbers, and punctuation marks, I will have that service up and running as soon as the business is done and finalized. Just want to let everybody know that that is coming up soon.